Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Thursday, February 23rd, 2023 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I have faith in my personal revolution process and look and listen for the signs that take me on my next steps. And when I was sitting with today's astro, I had many songs, but I've already lost some of them. Well, the last song was, that made me laugh, The Rhythm Is Gonna Get You. But it was more like, this energy is gonna get you. And it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing to be made aware of where you need to do the work. So look, listen. Now I'm hearing Elvis. Look and listen, pay attention, because the universe is showing you. So we are in our second half of the Revolution Evolution Day, where Uranus is just presiding over the day, showing us where we need to do the work. I woke up into it on Wednesday. Just was like, oh, there it is. Okay. And I'm grateful for that, because these are places where we just get stuck. Now, this energy, the way it's evolving, is so interesting to me. There's so many interesting things. We are building into a connection with the sun and the north and the south node. So that's going to be later today and into Friday that we're going to have the sun moving to 5 degrees Pisces, connecting to the north node and the south node at 5 degrees Taurus and Scorpio. So it's going to be a trine with the south node in Scorpio and a sextile, which is helpful, with the north node in Taurus. Trines are also good. So, and we have at the top of the cards, one of my Scorpio cards, the adventure card. I always call this card like the magic school bus card for doing our shadow work, for going into those deep, dark places that we need to explore, recognizing that we're moving into the light. And it's not just like singular light. It is the spectrum of color. It is by our willingness to go to the shadow places, to our triggers, to our pain, to our trauma, to our fears, our willingness to look at these repeating patterns that we get stuck in, take our power back, take our personal responsibility, that we can then integrate these pieces. I'm actually, fascinating, watching a show right now on Prime that I had started a long time ago and then got distracted, probably by a move or something, but called Undone, and I'm in the second season of it, and in it has a woman in a mental institution who keeps making a collage of all of these pieces in a circle and leaving out this little piece, not integrating this one piece. Will not believe this. As I'm saying this card literally just fell off of my pile of cards into my lap, and here we have a piece being put together in the puzzle as I'm talking about this lady making this collage with all these pieces in a circle and this one piece, and she would do it over and over and over again and leave this one piece out. And we all have those places too, these parts of ourselves that we think are too damaged, painful, whatever, to integrate. This is not necessarily something that we want to do alone, but recognizing that there is beauty in calling back those pieces, the willingness to dance with, to work with, to go there, and hold ourselves through this energy. So keep that in mind over the next few days as the sun and Venus, actually, for the record, Venus is also connecting. Venus is also going to be moving to 5 degrees. So the sun and Venus both working that energy, helping us face our fears and integrate ourselves into our full selves, valuing all of that, finding value in that whole process. Now, it's also interesting because we're right in the midst of Pluto in Capricorn at 29 degrees. And I noticed today, I was like, oh, we're a third of the way through. And I was like, oh, how interesting. Is it going to take 33 days to move all the way through? And I asked Siri how many days between when it began at 29, which was February 11th, and March 23rd, and it's actually 40 days. So 40 days and 40 nights, has great significance in the Bible and also in Jesus's processes. And I've had various people through my life being like, if you really want to change something, spend 40 days integrating this new energy, this thing, whatever it is that you're wanting to do. Now we're in the midst of this, but this is not the first time it's going to pass over. And I don't know if every time it's going to be 40 days, but it just struck me as, whoa, we are being given such a chance right now. Oh, thank you, Mahalo. He agrees, doubling down on what I'm saying. We are being given such an opportunity right now to make these shifts as we have Sun in Pisces helping us move through time, space, and dimension and lifetimes. Like so much of what I'm experiencing, it's beyond this lifetime that I'm working through. So we have this layer going on. We have the nodes, that South Node in Scorpio, which is like, take back your power. You don't have to be a victim to this pattern any longer. And sometimes maybe it's easier if we look at it like that, rather than being a victim to a person or an influence or something. What if it's the pattern? And maybe that's where we can find where we can take back our power in it instead of getting caught up in what somebody else is doing. That card's in here too. We've got the comparison card. So it's not about he said, she said, they did, whatever. This is your process. That's all the Aries energy that's working us. So it's just such a powerful time to be digging into this work and this energy. So speaking of this being your process, Moon in Aries, making all the connections today besides the Sun connecting to the nodes. Moon in Aries connecting to Mars, Mercury, Saturn. So those are all air, fire and air connections. So we may have tufts of like within ourselves in this energy, some combustion going on. But also all the air energy can bring insight. It can be helpful in changing our thinking. It can be helping in clearing some of the fog away. Sometimes that Pisces energy can bring in the fog. So here we have these airy energies clearing it out. Mars in Gemini being like, hey, maybe you have to think about this and look at this in a new way. One of the cards I have for today, oh gosh, these cards are so good. I love these cards. I have Beyond Illusion, so there's that Pisces energy that we're kind of blowing that fog away. I have Conditioning in reverse. Some of the change that we need to make is in I didn't even look at all these beforehand. Sometimes I just pull them and sit them there for, art purposes, demonstration purposes. Anyway, some of the change we need to make is in, oh, I have a sneeze coming, our stinking thinking. Excuse me. Blow it away, sneeze it away. The conditioning, the shoulds, the way things have always been, this is part of what Pluto and Capricorn is changing. It is changing the structure of things. It's changing the tradition of things. It's changing, we should do it this way because this is the way it's always been done, into, wait, how is your soul calling you to do this? So we have this energy of change supporting us, but it is an individual energy that we want to dig into. Now, we end the day with the moon squaring Pluto. So Moon in Aries at 29 degrees, Pluto in Capricorn at 29 degrees. You may feel that square coming in. It may feel uncomfortable. You may feel irrational. You may feel frustrated. You may feel angry. And all of this is part of the process. See what you can do to physically move it through. I will remind you that Aries is a sign that requires action. So taking some kind of physical action can help. And remember, individual process, like dance it out or, go outside and do some Tai Chi or something. Don't take it out on somebody else. It might be really easy to take it out. Watch your power and control issues coming up. Mahalo says so. Um, thank you, Mahalo. Watch for those energies coming up because I just feel like there's a lot of built up frustration. It feels like I have a lot of frustration as to what is happening in the world right now. And I have to keep bringing it back to me and remembering that I do have power in how this is unfolding. So watch for that. I'm going to leave that here for today. You can book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and honor your values and your little fuzzy friends. Namaste.